Glad to be here. This is obviously a very unique, special reception. Among the shows, you'll notice that there's a lot of black and white. There's some color, but a lot of black and white. We did a lot of that this year, this quarter, is drawing. As usual, I'm going to introduce you to some of the teachers. They're going to talk about what their students were doing. We're going to begin with Ms. Messer in the corner with photography, who's being the bouncer today.
My photo 2 work is actually up this time around, and they don't look like typical photographs because they are photograms. So it's those, well, the black and white parts. I know that doesn't really help a whole lot. But there are 2 here, there's a couple over there. But photograms, basically, you're putting images onto an actual piece of photo paper. So you're not taking an image with a camera, you're creating that image on the paper through miscellaneous objects or cutouts or shadows, things like that. So they turn out really interesting.
The other pieces, the two-dimensional pieces, are done by Mr. Bede's class. He's way in the corner. He's going to talk about his stuff.
Basically, the pictures I have up are ink cross-hatchings of still lifes that are distorted. It's from the Drawing 1 class. It's a 2-part assignment. There are also drawings with graphite pencil. There's one over here and one on the other end. And what they do is they start by using graphite pencil to learn how to create the illusion of 3D on a 2-dimensional surface. Then they take the same setup, they do it again, but this time they distort it. They have some fun with the objects, and they do it in a cross-hatching technique with pen and ink. So that's Drawing 1.
And next is Mrs. Met, who is right there in the
I'm so short, nobody can see me. I'll do it anyway. The drawings that you see here are the renderings that were done by the foundations class. And so they're the beginning artists. So keep that in mind when you look at their artwork. They all began with an original photo. Okay? And then they had to use the grid method to transfer that photo to a piece of paper, and then they worked with hatching and cross-hatching to create a wide range of values, from the very blackest black to the whitest white, and all the values in between.
Next is Mrs. Gonzalez's classes. She's not here today. She has a good thing. She's at a wedding. Not hers, but it's a wedding. And all I truly know is the fish, which are so wonderful, are done by 5th graders. If you're a 5th grader, raise your hand. Thank you. They're so cool. They make my day. When you're not so crowded in here, if you get a chance this time of day, if you walk by, the fish cast wonderful shadows, and they actually start moving. It's really a cool image. The other classes that she has, I don't know enough about, but thank you for being here. Next is my classes. My guys went crazy this quarter. Ceramics and sculpture. The sculpture classes, well, I'm going to let these wonderful people talk a little bit more about the lamps that are not lit up because I don't have enough outlets, but they all light up, all the little sculptures you see. And also we did book illustrations. You can see the book that goes with the illustration that kind of relates to it. And last but not least was my foundations class, and they did this. I think it's a large picture of Brad Pitt, right? And the way that came about, I can get any of the other teachers opposed when I took their, do their picture, so they said, you do it, Smith. And what they did, each got a piece of paper that was about this size, and they had to reproduce it that size. And most of them did not really understand what they were going to make when we got done with it until we got it up. So we have this big, scary, Halloween-y kind of looking thing. Yes?
Make sure that they understand all the foundations.
Oh, I did not imply that. Yes, we had 80 students doing this. All the foundations, Mrs. Met, Mrs. Gonzalez, and myself, all our classes did it. So they could not really talk to each other about each piece. They had to kind of match it as well as they possibly could. It was quite a big deal, literally and conceptually. It's a big deal. So enjoy that. It's actually, we're hoping to show it elsewhere around campus later. Might use scare off that people. I don't know. Last but not least is a really important thing. My students were working at making sculptures for patrons of the heart. The two of the founders are here. Where are you? There. Ellen's down here, who are going to talk about Patrons of the Heart, why it's important, what we did, how you're all getting invited to a great party. So,
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
thank you. This is a great exhibition. I love being here, so thanks for having us. I can see teachers are doing a great job with these kids. This is fun. This is fantastic. I know the process of doing that, and when you have this little tiny little square and you have no idea what it is part of, it can be really challenging to create each one of those larger squares. So it's great. Good job, everybody. Thank you for having us. We are, the foundation is called Patrons of the Hearts. We've been around since 2005, and we basically provide medical care to children from developing countries who have congenital heart disease and they need heart surgery, and they cannot have access to that in their country. So we bring them to Wolfson Children's Hospital, and we do a surgery. We take care of it could be surgery or catheter treatment to save these children's lives. So every year we do a big fundraiser, and it's called Patrons of the Hearts, implying art in that heart word. We have always the art community of Jacksonville and the area donate works of art to raise funds on the silent auction. But every year we have a school become partners with us, and the students create artwork for the silent auction, and it goes really well. So this year, Mr. Jim Smith offered to get the students who were doing the sculptures to create these pieces that are name enlightening, which I think are terrific, and all these lamps that were going to be part of the silent auction will be exhibited, and then we will have a competition that night to choose the best lamp by the public that's going to be attending the event, and that piece will be, and it may be two, will be putting it in the live auction. So I want to thank you all for doing them. If you haven't seen them, all these lamps like the TNT over there, there are a couple down here, there is the camera over there, I think a cowboy boot. Our theme this year is Patrons Country. So we're doing a country event, and I think that's why the cowboy boot. There are all these lamps hanging down there. It's an incredible event that we do. It's not your typical fundraiser. It's a big party, and we have a lot of people from the community from all different backgrounds, lots of artists and physicians, lawyers, business people, all kinds of people, and we have fun while we raise money for these kids. These surgeries are anywhere, I mean, they're over $40,000 each, at least. Through Patrons of the Hearts, each surgery costs only $5,000, and that's why we're able to do this. We bring 10 children a year. We've done 70 from 20 different countries, and you can learn all about that if you come to the event. So thank you.
before we let you go,
Yes.
there are programs, invitations
Yes.
that you can look at, and they're on the table as well, if you're interested in going. And don't think I'm wrong about the tickets.
Oh, that's right. Each
If you made art, if you made one of these lamps for my classes, these wonderful people are going to give you one free ticket for your family, which is pretty lot, you know? So thank them, get more invitations, and last but not least, raise your hand. We have new art moms. They're doing a great job. Please thank them, and have a good day.